Do you know the reality TV series Storage Wars? Well, if you do, then you'll remember the feisty Brandi Passante. The series was very popularly viewed by audiences in all corners of the world. It featured a group of professionals and their teams who searched for, bought, and sold the contents of storage units that had been abandoned by their renters. Sometimes awesome surprises as well as valuable treasures were discovered, the latter sometimes fetching great prices. The series had a great run on A&E Network through 264 episodes until the end of the final season in 2022. The question is, what happened to Brandy, and what has she been doing since? Here we take a closer look at her and come up with some answers. Brandi Lee Passante was born on the 16th of May 1980 in Harris County, Texas, USA, and grew up in the city of Houston. She has light brown hair and dark brown eyes and is just 5 feet 3 inches or 1.6 meters tall. During her first job as a sales lady for a carpet store, she and her boss Jarrod Schulz fell into a relationship. Brandy gave birth to their first child when she was 23 and became a stay-at-home mom to their son Cameron while Jarrod worked in the mortgage industry. Their daughter Peyton was born 2 years later. Brandy has been through a tough time with their children. Peyton was born deaf and had a cleft palate, so they wanted to keep her in the hospital, but Brandy opted to take her home and brought her back each morning at 6 a.m. with 2-year-old Cameron in tow. Baby Peyton had her first ear surgery when she was 6 weeks old, and when she was 1 year old, a mouth operation which lasted 16 hours. She underwent extensive speech therapy and became withdrawn, but when she grew up, becoming a cheerleader helped her come out of her shell. Cameron had a mass on his kidney and had ultrasound treatments for 1.5 years, but whilst in high school, he became symptomatic and spent 3 months in hospitals undergoing surgeries. Notwithstanding the setback to his schooling, he graduated in June 2021, as is evidenced by Brandy, the proud mama's post on Twitter. Of course, her children's health setback made life even more difficult for Brandy, who had to juggle being an attentive parent whilst attending long film shoots. Jarrod Schulz was born on the 15th of October 1977 in Long Beach, California. He sported a bit of a shady past and served some jail time in the late 90s for possession of a controlled substance. In 2002, Jarrod opened a store called Outlaw Apparel, selling Western-style clothing, which is no longer operational. He was inspired by his aunt, who managed a store facility, to visit storage locker auctions, and has accumulated so many items that he decided to open a thrift store, now and then secondhand store, in Orange County, California. Brandy joined him on his trips to storage auctions to procure merchandise. At an auction in Harbor City, California, Jarrod was approached by the producers of Storage Wars, which led to their filming a feature in his store. When they met Brandy there, both of them were invited to join the show. As Brandy and Jarrod already had the know-how and experience they were looking for, they felt a couple would add an extra dynamic that would complement the show. So it was that Brandy and Jarrod joined the cast when the show premiered on the 31st of July 2011. They quickly became fan favorites and were known as the Young Guns. Brandy's bubbly personality, attractiveness, and sharp sense of humor drew many fans. She's one tough cookie and could handle being the only woman on the show originally because, as she claimed, she grew up with brothers and they used to beat the crap out of me when we were younger, and I thought that toughened me up a bit. Brandy and Jarrod's disagreements and squabbles on the show, and Jarrod's willingness to take risks, added an extra dimension that delighted their audience. Their fame was a great benefit to their business, too, and spurred them on to create their own merchandise line with branded clothing, which sold in-store and online. In 2014, Brandy and Jarrod's own spin-off series, Brandy and Jarrod Married to the Job, was launched. At about this time, after they'd been in a relationship for 15 years, they spoke about tying the knot. However, it seemed that never happened, though many media reports speak of them as being a married couple. As well as advantages, being famous certainly has its setbacks too, and in 2012, Brandy fell victim to the notorious Hunter Moore, who posted a nude woman on his website, Revenge Porn, and claimed that it was Brandy. She was appalled and sued Hunter for defamation, violation of privacy, etc., and won a lawsuit against him. She requested $2.5 million in compensation for damages, but the judge only awarded her $750 and cover of her attorney's fees. In 2015, after other more serious claims, Hunter paid the price when he was sentenced to 2.5 years in federal prison. In December of that same year, a former series co-star, Dave Hester, exposed the cast's salaries, claiming that on average each member earned a bit more than $800,000 per season. He filed a lawsuit alleging that the show was inauthentic, with grapevines planted by the show's producers beforehand, and that they paid for Brandy to have a breast enlargement to add to her sex appeal and boost the show's ratings. Untrue. Dave was fired, but later returned to the show. Brandy and Jarrod appeared in Season 13's premiere in April 2021, but there were rumblings that all was not blissful in their relationship. Yet everyone was taken aback when Brandy released a secret she had kept under wraps, announcing that they were no longer together and had actually split up just after the wrap-up of the 12th season in 2018. Brandy admitted that it wasn't easy for her to be starring alongside her ex and implied that their breakup wasn't very amicable. Their relationship had turned toxic, and Jarrod admitted he would likely sabotage Brandy by outbidding her on storage units he didn't even want. Both parties had made a fair sum of money over the years, and their separation was messy. There were many rumors during the rounds, but at that stage neither Brandy nor Jarrod disclosed the reasons for their split, apart from a joint media statement saying that they had mutually and amicably decided to go their separate ways and were committed to co-parenting their two children, who were then 7 and 5 years old, in a positive manner. As their relationship disintegrated, so too did their business, and the thrift store was closed in 2019. Brandy and Jarrod pursued their own individual business ventures, and it appeared that they had never resolved the tensions in their relationship. It can be construed that Brandy and Jarrod's relationship is beyond reconciliation. Brandy shared an image on her Twitter page promoting the return of a series in March 2021, on which she plastered a devilish mask over Jarrod's face. In May 2021, according to TMZ, Jarrod got into a heated argument with Brandy, who was hanging out with friends at a bar in Orange County, and when she asked him to leave, Jarrod yelled at her and her friends, and it was alleged that he pushed Brandy twice. The police were called. Jarrod denied manhandling Brandy, but in any case, he was charged with misdemeanor domestic violence battery. It's not known what the outcome was, but he didn't reappear in Season 14 of Storage Wars, and the word was out that he'd been sacked. Jarrod claimed that a fight with a producer led to his dismissal, but that he wasn't the one who started it. In January 2020, Jarrod announced that he had a new girlfriend, Rochelle Beckman, who is from El Toro, California, and studied at Concordia University, Irvine. Brandy was hit hard that year when her dad passed away in October. Jarrod featured in other shows including Discovery Channel series Diesel Brothers, Celebrity Family Feud, and Storage Wars Northern Treasures. In 2019, he took over the Rush Bar and Grill in Lake Forest, California. He's involved in charity events, especially raising awareness for breast cancer research, his mother being a survivor. He's remained active on social media. In February 2021, Brandy was a guest in Spirit Talk hosted by Siobhan and Sabrina, in which she discussed the trials and tribulations of taking care of her family and her role in Storage Wars, which she quipped was a blessing and a curse. Brandy has never slated Jarrod outright, but has intimated that she escaped what could have been an awful fate by the grace of God. Otherwise, she's been quite outspoken about the challenges she faces being a single mom. She said it would have been easier if the kids were younger, as teenagers are rebellious and think that they know everything, so having a scary dad voice around helps. She admitted that she had to take into account that they were going through their own traumas related to her separation from Jarrod. Brandy's Instagram post on the 9th of August 2022, when she also touched up her tattoo, says it all. My little reminder of the strength that I finally miraculously found and all that I've accomplished. In spite of constantly being told that I was worthless, my reminder that I can be fearless and free to make my own choices without consequences. Well, it started to fade, along with all that confidence. Brandy's used to people saying gross and inappropriate things on social media and has a knack of responding with apt and sometimes cutting retorts. She seldom mentions her children, though, as they hate publicity, so she keeps them out of the spotlight. Brandy continued working in the secondhand reselling business and formed an online store called Brandi Passante's Pop-Up, selling vintage and antique items, secondhand, and new goods. Brandy isn't likely to disappear off the scene and has been active on social media, keeping her fans updated on her ventures and adventures. She hasn't posted on her Facebook page, with almost 870,000 followers, since the last season of Storage Wars in 2021, but is active on Instagram and Twitter with over 425,000 and 155,000 followers, respectively. In 2020, Brandy joined Cameo, a platform where people can pay for a personalized video message from a celebrity. One can also have a live video chat with her on the portal or get her to promote a company brand. She's also featured on several TV shows and podcasts and is co-host of the Orange County podcast Happening Now with Hammer, on which a broad range of topics are discussed on their YouTube channel, which has more than 140,000 subscribers. Brandy has also worked with charities and is a firm supporter of Women's Own Worth, an organization that assists victims of domestic abuse violence. She emceed at their 6th annual Wowapalooza event and helped them raise over $100,000. In 2022, Brandy replied to a comment made on Instagram when asked why her voice was raspy on her videos. She replied, "I have Hashimoto's disease, an autoimmune disease that affects my thyroid. Sometimes it makes my throat raspy. This hasn't been confirmed." Although she remained single for a while, saying that she wasn't seeing anyone in particular and that she's just going with the flow because she felt emotionally dead inside and needed to find her place. The good news is that it all changed on the 2nd of May 2023 when she showed off the new man in her life, posting a video compilation of photos of him on Instagram, wishing him "Happy Birthday Beaver" to the tune of "Nothing Can Change This Love" by Sam Cooke. The lucky guy, as he was coined by many of her adoring fans, is Clifford Beaver, comes from El Toro, California, and is a new home sales consultant. Clifford reciprocated for her 43rd birthday on the 16th of May by compiling a video clip featuring photos of the happy couple together, using the Looking Glass song, "Brandy, You're a Fine Girl," and declared, "Happy birthday, Brandy. I love you so much, and happy we found each other." It's good to hear that Brandy, with all the struggles she's faced and the hard work she's put into her personal life and career, has created a success of her life. According to authoritative sources, her years on Storage Wars and all her other business ventures have earned her a net worth of over $2 million. More importantly, she's found herself again, and there is nothing more valuable than happiness and love. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.